Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Autoimmune Matrix. My name is Dr. Michelle Gamble. I am a health and wellness mentor, and I enjoy working with you. If you have not met me before, you realize that this is a passion for me. I understand that you have certain concerns with regard to autoimmunity, and I am here to assist you. I have the humble privilege of supporting and educating people through prevention. Before we go any further, just a little bit of housekeeping. Remember that the information in this presentation is not intended to replace a one-on-one relationship with a qualified medical professional, and it is not intended as medical advice. This presentation is intended as a sharing of the knowledge and information that I have garnered from my research and my experience of working with many people who have autoimmune diseases, and the experiences and expertise of many who have contributed to this particular presentation. We encourage you to make your own healthcare decisions based upon your research and in partnership with your qualified healthcare team. Let us begin. I want you to imagine health being expressed as a triangle. At the base are your genes, all 23,000 of them, and each of these are inherited from your parents and are represented throughout your life. However, they are not necessarily noticed until some other factors trigger their manifestation. These genes can be turned on and off, much like a light switch, by what we can visualize as the other points on the health triangle. The other points are the chemical self, the physical self, the mental self. These will make a lot more sense as we discuss the components of health further, but I want you to know that as a functional practitioner, as a holistic practitioner, I look at the entire triangle in its entirety. The chemical self, the physical self, the mental self. These are things that can activate and trigger the switching off of genes that you may have. Now, the triangle of health represents the components within what we refer to as the autoimmune matrix. It is understood that autoimmune diseases are caused by chemical, physical, and/or mental influences that turn on certain gene manifestations. In other words, autoimmunity is bred by lifestyle choices and behavior. It is also important to note that each of these elements can interact with one another. For example, if we are not tending to our physical selves, our chemical self reacts and vice versa. Fortunately, this also means that we can address things in a similar way. Our influences chemically, physically, and mentally can determine our health to be either compromised or optimized. Now, while that may sound a little bit scary, it is also empowering and can instill a lot of hope from those of you who may be suffering with autoimmune conditions. Most conventional doctors today solely focus on chemical components using medication. There are endless ways to influence the body using this standard of care, such as artificially manipulating inflammation, vital hormones, and many of the other essential chemical processes within the body. This is all done with one common goal, which is basically to cover up the symptoms. On the other hand, functional practitioners, functional healthcare providers, address the origin of the disease or the dis-ease in order to ensure comprehensive and effective measures. Covering up the symptoms should never be considered or disguised as a cure. Indeed, functional healthcare is centered around the client versus the disease. Practitioners see health problems as a reaction to dysfunctions within the body rather than an isolated issue. This approach is truly revolutionizing the medical field by empowering people to better understand imbalances in their bodies, how these imbalances affect their health, and the solutions available to support normal healing mechanisms within their persons. Now, when this is applied to the autoimmune complications, people are astonished by the improvement in their health, if not complete recovery. The chemical components of health will be a large majority of what we discuss throughout this presentation, but for good reason. In short, chemistry, in a sense, refers to anything that enters the body. This includes food, vitamin, minerals, water, pesticides, preservatives, dyes, and much, much more. Other environmental factors that you may have less control of, but nonetheless control over exposure to, include bacteria, parasites, toxins, allergens, and other microorganisms. The common theme throughout the triangle of health is your control. Chemical self is influenced by what you choose to enter your body, and in turn, the chemical influence on your gene activation. Up next, we will be explaining common chemical or nutrient deficiencies. In the words of Dr. Osborne, the importance of nutrition cannot be argued. It's absolutely critical. Essential nutrients found in foods such as vitamins, minerals, amino acids, carbohydrates, and fats are necessary for the proper functioning of the body. Each have their own job, and everyone's needs are specific to their own unique health. One thing to consider is the why behind these deficiencies. It may be due not to consuming enough food that contain them. It may be due to impaired gut function, or it may be due to the result of an existing autoimmune issue. The most common nutrient deficiencies that we see in our work with clients include, but are not limited to, vitamin D, vitamin B12, zinc, omega fatty acids, and believe it or not, water. Now, unfortunately, the commonplace procedure for measuring these levels is serum testing. Serum testing can be incredibly limited because they do not take into account the fluctuations of the vitamin content throughout the day or around meals. That being said, serum lab testing is not a good indicator of the storage of nutrients, the sustained nutrient levels, or the accurate deficiencies after digestion. This is an important conversation that you need to have with your healthcare providers if that is the only test that is being offered to you. Later on in this presentation, we will be reviewing other recommended testing procedures. But first, let's take a closer look at some of these deficiencies. The most common that I see is vitamin D. Now, most immune cells have specific vitamin D receptors, which help to modulate immune activity and response. It is no surprise that a clear connection has been found between autoimmune diseases and this particular deficiency. A few types of the most prominent include type 1 diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, and multiple sclerosis. Some common foods that are high in vitamin D include wild-caught salmon, tuna, eggs, mushrooms, and fortified cereals. The most abundant source of vitamin D, however, is direct sunlight. Yet we are advised to limit our time in the sun and to wear UV blocking protectants. However, vitamin D is autoimmune modulatory, otherwise known as an aid to proper immune system function. This in turn helps to prevent autoimmune disorders. This doesn't add up, does it? Now, common medication used to treat autoimmune diseases can actually cause vitamin and mineral deficiencies and in turn hinder the immune system. You can see how this is truly counterproductive. You deserve to know if the medicines that you've been prescribed causes deficiencies, and if so, you also deserve to be given appropriate supplementation. For your reference, consider the following general information. For common blood pressure medication, the following deficiencies may occur: vitamin B1, B6, C, magnesium, calcium, potassium, zinc, CoQ10, and melatonin. For common cholesterol medications, the following deficiencies may occur: vitamin A, B2, B6, B12, D, E, K, folate, beta-carotene, iron, and once again, CoQ10. For most diabetes medications, the following deficiencies may occur: vitamins B12, folic acid, CoQ10. For common anti-inflammatory medications, the following deficiencies may occur: vitamin A, C, D, B12, folic acid, potassium, iron, magnesium, and zinc. For common heartburn medications, the following deficiencies may occur: vitamins D, B12, folic acid, beta-carotene, calcium, iron, and zinc. For common hormone replacement, the following deficiencies occur: vitamin B2, B, B6, B12, C, folic acid, magnesium, zinc, and selenium. Please note that these do not go for all of the medications, but are general guidelines. And above all, it is always most important to have the proper testing done to ensure that you are meeting your unique needs. We are exposed to toxins on a regular basis, and many are often unavoidable. These include, but are not limited to, pesticides, GMOs, air pollutants, heavy metals, chemical contaminants. Toxins can be the cause of many health complications such as fatigue, muscle aches, joint pain, sinus congestion, postnasal drip, headaches, bloating, and autoimmunity. To reduce and prevent these toxic overloads, there are many ways to minimize exposure, such as organic, non-GMO foods, air purification systems, water filters, and toxic-free household items. Luckily, there are ways to monitor your nutrient deficiencies, toxic buildup, and bodily imbalances. Consider these tests when working with your functional provider, as they are designed to assess your individual nutritional status. Consider iodine loading tests. This measures your iodine status. Consider a 25 OHD test. This is an effective test of monitoring your vitamin D levels. Consider an iron panel with ferritin. The most important part here is the ferritin. Be sure to request this, as most doctors do not initially request this. A CBC, also known as a complete blood count. This is the most comprehensive blood test for assessing various types of anemias, not just iron anemia, but also B6 anemia, B12 anemia, things of that nature. Homocysteine. This is an indirect marker for nutrient status of vitamin B2, B6, and B12. Hemoglobin A1C, that helps to detect your average blood sugar. C-reactive protein, a common identifiable marker of inflammation. Insulin. Insulin affects the body in a number of ways, but above all, its test measures the amount of stress on the pancreas based on the amount of sugar found in the bloodstream. Other tests include things like doing a Dutch test to look at your hormonal levels, and doing a test on your urinary panel to see various mineral vitamin deficiency levels. You can contact me if you need to learn more. In order to properly address nutrient deficiencies, it is important to rule out any issues that are associated with gut function. If your gut is not functioning properly, it is unlikely that your body will be able to absorb the proper nutrients. Therefore, Eating the right foods or taking supplements will go unnoticed, and you may become frustrated with the lack of improvement. Some of the major functions of the gut include digestion, immune response, nutrient absorption, hormone regulation, vitamin production, detoxification, and mood management. Above all, the gut's sole purpose is to ensure that you are absorbing the good and excreting the bad. If this balance is disrupted, major health complications occur. There is 10 times the amount of bacteria in our body than our own cells. The majority of them are housed within our digestive system. That being said, gut health is truly the gateway to health for a number of reasons. Fortunately, our gut has defenses, or firewalls, that help it to properly do its job. These include the GALT, otherwise known as the gastro-associated lymphoid tissue. This is the gut's immune system, and in fact, 70% of our entire immune system is the GALT, located in our gut. Then you also have tight junctions. These are where small proteins that are responsible for holding the gut cells together. Then you have what's called mucosal IgA. It is otherwise known as immunoglobulin A and is the antibody considered our first line of defense against toxins. Then we have friendly bacteria. As we mentioned, we have more bacteria in our body than we do in our own cells, than we do in terms of our own cell counts. The bacteria can communicate with the GALT, warning it of potential danger. Then there is stomach acid. This is absolutely essential for digestion and absorption of nutrients. All of these barriers together combine to promote a healthy gut and in turn, a healthy immune system. These components have been proved to significantly damage the gut. The standard American diet. Chemicals such as pesticides, preservatives, heavy metals, food dyes, GMOs, glyphosate, and microbial transglutenase. Infections such as bacterial, viral, parasitic, or yeast overgrowth. Gluten and other grains. Food allergies. Excessive medications. Aggressive exercise. Chronic stress. And this is a major component, chronic stress. These are some of the main proponents for the causes of leaky gut syndrome, a harmful condition that can lead to a plethora of health complications. So let's talk about how the gut gets leaky. Leaky gut is when the tight junctions between the intestinal cells begin to open up due to proteins breaking down from agitation and inflammation. When this happens, bacteria, chemicals, and toxins have the ability to leak outside of the digestive tract and eventually enter the bloodstream. This signals a flood of immune antibodies and an increase of allergic reactions. This cycle continues and ultimately leads to autoimmunity. It is important to know what is specifically irritating your gut. Up next, we will be going into more details on some of the culprits. If you are medicated, it is crucial to be aware of the potential risks. Some include antibiotics, which can destroy the good bacteria that is needed for digestion and can cripple vitamin synthesis and increase your risk of yeast overgrowth. Common pain medication have been found to erode the mucosal lining of the stomach and the small intestine, which contributes to intestinal permeability. Acid reflux medications block the stomach acid production, and in turn, this hinders digestion and absorption, often leading to nutrient deficiencies. Antidepressants negatively affect the neurotransmitters in the gut. Gluten was first medically proven to cause autoimmunity in 1952 by Dr. Dyke. Since then, plenty of research has backed this up. Gluten allergies and sensitivities have been increasingly becoming more common. However, recent research has been implying that gluten can even cause adverse health effects in people who don't have symptoms. Why is this, you may ask? Well, gluten produces a protein called zonulin. This zonulin directly affects the lining of the intestinal tract. Hello, causing leaky gut. The antibodies that are initially produced to attack the gliadin, one of the gluten's building blocks, leaches out of the digestive tract and into the bloodstream. The body reacts by secreting inflammatory chemicals as a defense mechanism. However, the body becomes unable to differentiate between the gluten or the invader and healthy body tissues. This is what we call the start of autoimmunity. Some of the most commonly ignored sensitivities or allergies include food allergies, medication allergies, surgical allergies, chemical allergies, mold allergies, and the allergies in additives of any of the above. All untreated allergies can cause serious health complications, including autoimmune diseases. Fortunately, there are many ways to test for these allergies, including skin tests, blood tests, lung function tests, patch testing, and food challenges, also known as elimination diets. Common heavy metals and elements include lead, mercury, cadmium, arsenic, fluoride, bromine, and chlorine. They are incredibly dangerous to your health and your immunity. Unfortunately, we are exposed to all of these in the air we breathe, the water we drink, and even the food we eat. The most alarming way toxic metals affect our health is by competing with the beneficial minerals for binding sites. This leads to deficiencies regardless of your daily intake. Your exposure to many of these toxins is often gradual, and therefore the accumulation can be left unnoticed for extended periods of time. Fluoride consumption has become an increasingly more prominent issue. It is often put in public water and encouraged in our dental routines. Yet research suggests that this mass exposure can contribute to autoimmune thyroid diseases, brain damage, and the displacement of iodine in the body. Note that iodine is especially important for thyroid functioning and the production of T4, the thyroid hormone thyroxine, which is the active hormone. Inhibiting the production and maintenance of essential thyroid hormones have truly dangerous and disabling consequences. If the thyroid doesn't operate properly, many health complications such as adrenal fatigue, adrenal dysfunction, depression, weight gain, muscle aches, brain fog, libido, and you guessed it, autoimmunity occur with an imbalanced thyroid. Our health is truly a combination of the things that we put in our bodies. Between the quality of the food that we eat, our exposure to toxins, and our body's ability to detoxify efficiently, our chemical makeup is directly affected. Work with functional providers in order to ensure that you are receiving proper testing, comprehensive healing strategy, and the support that you deserve to take control of your chemical health. Now let's talk a little bit about the physical component of health, as it is a little bit more straightforward. It's something that we confront every day. It encompasses our physical activity, the integrity of our muscles, and quite literally our body mechanics. There is common misperception that as we age, our health naturally declines. We hear it all the time from doctors that the aging process is basically synonymous to our bodies breaking down and becoming sick. However, this is very wrong. Instead, our choices are what facilitate this breakdown. As we age, we generally begin to exercise less. This is not due to being unable to exercise. It is a choice that we make because we get busy and it is justified to not be as active. The sedentary lifestyle breeds a dangerous cycle of health issues, including muscle atrophy. Muscle atrophy increases joint pressure, it decreases flexibility, and it escalates pain. Pain then continues to lead us to not continue to exercise, which leads to even more muscle pain and further joint restriction and pain. Can you guess the solution? Yes, the solution is simple. Just get moving. Find an exercise routine that feels right for you is the most important health decision that you can make. If you are currently in pain, however, you must start slowly and work with a professional to guide you through a routine that will not worsen any complications. In order to introduce physical fitness into your life, remember these tips. Start where you are, make small changes, determine individualized goals, create a routine. Do not give up, even if you do not see immediate results. Remember, health takes time. Some ideas to get you moving include biking instead of driving, schedule a post-dinner walk, dance around when you're doing your work, your housework, take on more active hobbies, always take the stairs, park farther away in parking lots. Take a moment to consider, how do you schedule in movement for your day? Last but not least, let's talk about the emotional self. The emotional component to self is as often ignored as possible, yet it is just as important as the rest of the triangle. You are what you think. Remember that. You are what you feel. If you do not believe that you can recover, it is likely that you will become someone who never experiences a recovery, because that will become your reality. On the other hand, if you are hopeful and positive, your ability to overcome health complications increases substantially. Feed your passions. Spend time with the people you love. Find things that make you feel relaxed. Manage your stress. And the most important of all, don't forget to love yourself throughout your healing process. Being in a chronic state of stress truly breeds disease, especially autoimmunity and inflammation. That is why we've developed a complete program to help people to transform stress. You can see more in our video that is available online. Remember that everyone manages stress differently, but to add a little relief into your life, try these quick tips. Implement deep breathing, have fun exercising, practice yoga, get a massage, create a meditation practice, make art, spend time with loved ones, and be sure to inquire into our Revitalize You program. Do you have any ideas that you would like to add to this list? Now, first and foremost, I want you to realize that there's a need to get the proper testing done to identify your body's unique needs and to treat those needs accordingly. Luckily, there are many things that you can do to amplify your health now, and we are here to assist you with whatever you need with regards to testing and other assessments. Here are some additional action steps that you can take to win the fight against autoimmunity. complications and to take control of your health. Try things like intermittent fasting, cutting out all grains, dairy, legumes, nightshades, processed foods. Change your diet to only contain easy to digest whole foods. Administer an elimination diet. Stay adequately hydrated. Make sure you get enough fiber. Take quality probiotics. Get supplements such as digestive enzymes. Avoid unnecessary antibiotics. Detoxify regularly. Practice deep breathing exercises. Adopt good hygiene practices. Exercise regular. Connect with others. Be sure to sleep enough. Rest when you need it. Find a hobby you love. And lastly, do what makes you feel happy and healthy. My last piece of advice is do not pick and choose throughout this process. These things must be done synergistically, all at once, to truly experience productive, holistic healing. Remember that we are here to assist you in this journey. We provide not only educational resources, but also mentorship and guidance. Please feel free to share these different pieces of information by sharing the link to this video with others that you may know who are also on this journey. And if you feel the need for support on this journey, please do not hesitate to ask for help. You can feel free to contact us with any questions, concerns, or comments that you may have by visiting our website, www.sankofahealing.com, by emailing us at sankofahe@gmail.com, or by picking up the phone and giving us a call. I look forward to speaking with you. Thank you once again. I congratulate you for taking this step into the direction of improving your overall health and wellness. Peace, prosperity, love, and blessings.